Guys, welcome back to Sweet and Sour Soccer. Liverpool 1, Wolves 0. Diogo Jota scoring on the stroke of half time. I don't even want to do this stream. I'm being really honest. I don't want it today because, can I be completely honest with you? I messaged you this after the game. I'm tired of football, and I've felt it for a while now. Obviously, if most people don't know, I predominantly live abroad, and it's tough for me to watch a lot of games because they're on at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. But the way it's going now, I'm just tired of it. I really am. There's people in charge of this game that have got no idea what they're doing. Old men who have probably never played football, no idea what they're doing. It's just confirmed to me now where I think it's widely regarded that there is corruption in the Premier League, keeping the bigger clubs at the top of the league. I'm not saying it based on today. If you look at previous videos, if you care enough to want to prove me right or wrong, go and watch back. I slated the handball against Dyer, against Newcastle. You know, there's countless decisions that have gone against Arsenal, the handball against United, against Chelsea. I think it's widely regarded that the Premier League can't afford to have a West Ham in the Champions League. You know, people from Spain and Bulgaria and Asia aren't going to tune in to watch West Ham in the Champions League if it means that Arsenal or Tottenham or Chelsea or Liverpool aren't in it. I think you can say with pretty much ease now that we are sadly in a fixed league. Whoever was in the boardroom and proposed the idea of, oh, do you know what we should do? How about this? Go with me on this one. When a player's offside, how about we don't raise the flag? Go on. Yeah, let's just
not raise the flag. Yeah,
bear with me on this. Let's just not raise the flag when a player's offside. Why? Let's just not raise it. You know, yeah. And we'll wait till the player dies or can't walk again. You know, hopefully. The referees and the association who decided this law sleep well tonight, because I'm pretty sure that Patricio's wife and his kids probably won't be sleeping very well tonight. So, you know, I wonder how much you got paid to make these decisions. Craig Pawson, one of the worst referees in the league, has been for many, many years. You know, I don't know how much you get paid for these decisions, but I just hope you're happy with yourself. And it's just a shambles. This sport is dead. The tackle from Bowley on Thiago, that sliding tackle, studs down, gets the ball. It's a foul. The game's gone to the pot, man. The game's dead, and I'm really getting to the point now. This channel isn't very old. I don't know if I'll bother doing it anymore. I'm just tired of this sport. It's dying. It's been a non-contact sport for years, but I think it's dead now.
Yeah, just to literally just pick up on what you said, really. Obviously, we both wish Patricio the best, quick and safe recovery as well. Yeah, just unbelievable, isn't it? It really is unbelievable. As you say, you know, whoever's come up with this idea of let's not raise the flag. And what is this idea? What this idea does, and whoever was the idiot, you know, in the FA or Premier League, whoever's decided to do this, all it was designed for was literally to get referees out of any form of accountability. Once again, just, it's all right, guys, we've got this nice machine that will, nice technology that will make it all look better and etc. You know, you guys linesmen, it don't matter that we're probably paying you thousands to do that match. You know, you just stand there and look pretty for the cameras and not actually decide. I mean, God, it was clearly offside.
People are arguing that there was only 2 or 3 seconds between, if he'd have put his flag up, it'd have only been 2 or 3 seconds between the collision and him putting his flag up. I'm sorry.
The flag goes up. Patricio is probably looking at the linesman at the time who got him in his eye line. He probably just thinks, I'm not going to go diving in at a risky challenge there. I'm not buying that at all.
No, and I'm sorry, this is football. 3 seconds is a long time in football. You know, It's an eternity. Look at Lamella's goal at the weekend. He thought of that and executed it in 0.2 seconds. 3 seconds is a lifetime in football.
Traore gets halfway up the pitch in 3 seconds.
He's done 100 meters in 3 seconds, Traore.
But I mean, going back to the other one, which was an absolute disgrace as well.
Oh, no one's even
that's what you were
about that.
alluding to with the corruption, and I was going to say a similar thing. The Semedo challenge, the Sky commentator alludes to the fact that it was apparently the goalkeeper's natural movement or some crap like that.
And to not only go forward, but to almost hug him. But another one that no one's picked up on. I'm sorry, isn't that a penalty on Moutinho by Trent? He just goes like this.
Yeah, I did see that. I just, as you say, it does get to the point that from being a Wolves fan, I'm sure other mid-table fans would agree. I think you're onto something. And I'm not one for like these whole conspiracies.
I'm not a conspiracy theory. I'm not. Dinosaurs exist. We landed on the moon.
There's got to be something in the fact that Liverpool are sitting in 7th and they just get gifted, what should have been 2 penalties today to Wolves. It just doesn't happen. The refereeing was absolutely ridiculous. But look, we've touched on this loads. We've touched on it, obviously, for the first 6 minutes of this video too. It's an absolute disgrace. And we'll finish off by saying, whoever made that decision today has got a lot of, not today, whoever made that decision about not raising the flag, I hope they're really happy with themselves, because you might have just ended a player's career. And let's hope he's got no long-lasting, injuries that are going to affect him and affect his family. And let's just wish him all the best.
Mate, well, obviously I second that 100%, and I'm sure everyone does, apart from the people who are in charge of our game, obviously. But, mate, I'll go one step further than you. You said, let's hope it hasn't affected his career. I'm not being over dramatic here. Let's hope he can walk. Let's hope he can talk. Let's hope he hasn't got brain damage. Forget the career. Let's hope he can say hello to his children in the morning. These people are ruining
lives.
The biggest sport in the world. It's like having the best product in the world and then giving all your sales jobs to people who are mute. What? And these people aren't voted into these positions. Well, actually they are, but they're just voted in by their peers. So there's no accountability again. We can't vote these people out. The only way they come out is by a massive backlash. But I know there's a lot of people on Twitter now and Facebook posting about it, but by this time next week, no one other than Wolves fans will be still talking about this, so it'll just get...
It's not like the association are going to come out and name and shame whoever came up with these kind of ideas either, so...
If this was David De Gea or a big player at Chelsea, obviously, West Brom, Wolves, Newcastle, Palace... We are there to fill positions in this league. We are never... If you think one of our clubs are going to ever break into the top 4 regularly, forget about it. It's Tottenham are lucky they had that good team and Poch before VAR came in, because obviously with this talk of the European Super League, we know these big teams. John W. Henry and the Glaziers are the 2 big people pushing for it. They want this European Super League. It's very easy and it's a lot cheaper to give someone in Stockley Park who's earning 20 grand a year. It's very easy to give them £1 million rather than to spend £200 million on a squad to actually get top 4 fairly. So you think there's no corruption in football, mate? If anyone out there genuinely believes that, not just based on tonight, it's just confirming it more and more each week. I've said it all season. Go back on previous videos.
They probably support one of the big 4, don't they? If they believe, yeah.
Most of them do, or like Mike Dean, you support Tranmere, so you don't really care, so you'll take the bribes anyway. And I'm not saying...
I meant the fan. If there are people that believes there is no corruption, probably, but should we do a quick overview of the game itself? I'll
be honest. I'll just say this now. A lot of the second half I didn't watch because I was just so disappointed. I'm being honest. If people unsubscribe because of that, fine. I was playing Candy Crush in the second half because I was that dejected. But I'm being serious. I watched the first half intensely. I saw bits of the second half, but you'll have to take over for that.
You didn't really miss too much, mate. We didn't really create much in the second half, and we had some good periods at the end. Again, Fabio had a couple of chances where same old story that he somehow finds space where Jose doesn't, and
Oh, is that
unfortunately,
the one that hit his shoulder?
yeah. Although I think that I wouldn't blame Donk because he's just gone for it to try and header it, but I think he definitely. I don't think Silva sees the ball until really late on. But yeah. I mean, at the first half we started really well, but failed to score.
Yeah, had a
Obviously,
good chance
Diogo
with Semedo.
then comes and slots one in. To be fair, I think Jose had a pretty decent first half. To be honest, I think he was a bit unlucky in a way not to actually get himself an assist. If you remember, he played a brilliant ball through to Traore, who didn't.
Wasn't. I knew people would bring this up. He chose the wrong ball. Why didn't he play a 10-yard ball into Neto? He's 1-on-1. Chose the
You
wrong
think?
ball.
I thought he played. Yeah, maybe you're right. I don't know.
Neto is in between the defenders. If he plays, I'm 90% sure. I didn't watch the replays at half time, but Neto is in between their two centre backs. If he plays a 10-yard ball forward, Neto's 1-on-1. He tries to play a 30-yard ball to Traore. Wrong decision. He actually did have a decent first half. He played a few good balls. It wasn't his worst game. Let's put it that way.
No. I think Wolves in general we created quite a bit the first half. Pretty exciting to watch. The first 20, obviously Liverpool forced us back a bit more in that. I guess the second half of the first half, they saw a lot more of the ball, but we're playing Liverpool, even a weaker Liverpool. You're going to expect times where Liverpool would dominate. And yeah, obviously Diogo got the goal. Weren't Patricio's finest moment, but I'm definitely not going to go in on him for that today of all days.
No.
In the last few games, he's had a brilliant games for us. He's won us enough points recently, hasn't he? So yeah. Second half, thought it was a bit of a dull half. Obviously, you've already said you didn't particularly watch all of it. I feel we created a few chances towards the end. I'm sure people will disagree with me, but I think when Gibbs came on, the little bit of play we saw from him, I thought he looked quite promising.
He did, to be fair, yeah.
I thought he was moving the ball well, moving it into the right areas. The last couple of minutes, with added time, I'm not quite sure how the ball didn't end up in the back of the net. Traore plays a brilliant ball in. Which obviously wasn't converted. There was another one I think earlier in the second half. Traore plays a really good ball in. I'm sure Jose's still on the pitch at the time, and you just think Jim Nevers was there. Traore be registering assist. I think no one gambles, and if someone had gambled, we probably would have got a goal. Yeah, I'm just a bit shocked, to be honest, that we didn't actually end up with a goal throughout the game. Somehow. We're playing another game where we haven't scored, and I'm not really sure how, because we did create quite a lot, but I think we're just missing that finisher.
Yeah, Neves had a decent chance in the first half, didn't he? Semedo had one. I think we almost dominated the first 10 minutes. They had a 15, 20-minute spell from about the 10th minute to about the 30th minute, but we ended the half really well, the first half. I mean, it's a shame for Rui. If you're being honest, it was his fault. But listen, at the end of the day, that's the least important thing today.
No, I mean,
just hope he's okay.
Should we dive into what should be a pretty quick player ratings? I think Patricio, I'll be honest, I don't want to give him a rating today because I just you can't give him a great rating, and
no, I don't.
I just don't want to give him a rating today. I'd rather just move on.
In the second half, he did make a few decent saves from Salah, and I think there was one from another one from Jota. He actually had a decent second half, but it was just that mistake. We won't rate Patricio today. I think we just move on. Semedo, I think that's probably one of his best games in a Wolves top. Got forward, linked up well. Didn't get caught out too many times, and even when he did, you've got to say we're not playing Crystal Palace today. We're playing a weakened or a Liverpool team with not much confidence, but they are still Sadio Mane, it is still,
I think Mane. Yeah, I was going to say I think Mane was probably the best player today, especially in that first half. He came at it, didn't he? So yeah, I'd give him a 6.
I'd actually go one more. I'd give him a 7 today. I don't think he got caught out a few times, but again, in a 90-minute football game, well, in a 115-minute football game, you're gonna get caught out a few times. But yeah, I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, Sice, not too much to say personally on him or Cody. To be honest, I'd probably just give him solid 6s.
Sice made a silly challenge on Jota, nothing came of it, but got himself booked. You got to think if you are 1-1 there, or maybe even winning 1-0, if it wasn't corrupt, you don't want to defend on a yellow card. So it's just decision making. But I give him a 6. I think he had an all right game. I think I'll give all the centre backs a 6, except for Bowley. I'll give him a 7. I thought he was.
I was going to say 7. Yeah,
really good. I think he was strong, solid. Gave away a foul for a slide tackle. Again, I mentioned it earlier, but you can't, unless Bowley pays the ref more than he's getting from other teams, you can't actually get away with that. And I'm not saying that in jest. I'm not. My vocabulary isn't good enough to explain how dire that decision was. I'm not smart enough to explain how winning a ball, studs down, and you don't even touch the other player pulls out. Like you just said, you have it. I'm too scared to go in for it. And Craig Pawson, I don't know if you noticed today, every decision he gave them, he had a smile on his face. He was joking around. He was laughing his head off. And I'm like...
I also noticed with him, it took him, 5 or 6 challenges before he booked Thiago.
Disgraceful that was.
I was demanding it, 3 challenges before he did, but yeah.
There was that one challenge where he went in hard in the second half. He went in hard on someone, a bad challenge, which should have been a book in itself, and he never got booked, but he got booked a couple of minutes after for probably like an accumulation of fouls. But we'll move on to
Craig Pawson off 0 rating.
No, I wouldn't even dignify Craig Pawson with a
right.
It's just all he's done is almost confirm the corruption. So his bosses at the Premier League are probably going to be pretty pissed off with him because he made it quite obvious today that it's corrupt. A lot of other refs have tried to keep it, questionable. He's almost saying to the point now where it's like, yeah, this is something's going on here for lower teams. We'll move on to Johnny. Standard 6, good performance.
Yeah, 6, not much to say at all. Probably the same with Moutinho for me, to be honest. I'd probably again go 6.
I think we won the midfield battle today. I think we won the midfield. I think
we did. But I think that's probably more to do with another player, which we'll move on to next. But yeah, I'd give Moutinho a 6. I don't know if you're similar.
Oh, I'd like to give Neves and Moutinho a 7 today. Some of the balls Neves played today were brilliant. João, there was one point in the first half where he turned Robertson and Fabinho in one move, and he did really well today. Stuck in. Again, the same thing we say every week. You can't fault their work rate. Sometimes you fault their quality, but I'll give them both a 7 today. I thought
you've got an average of a 7 for a midfield, and so have I, because I'm going to give Neves an 8. I thought, particularly in the first half, his long ball range. Again, I've said this last match reaction. I think, his passing forwards got a lot better. He's been much more direct. He's been quicker with his passes, coming with more intent. He's trying more of the diagonal passes, which he's been great for. And, also hit a free kick on target today, although not much malice behind it. It did actually hit the target, not over the bar.
Yeah, I've got no problem with Neves taking free kicks from 30 plus yards, because when he does connect it, there's a good chance of getting a rebound or it flying in, but when it's 25 yards out, no. But he got into good position today. He had that one chance that went wide. He tried to bend it with the outside of his right foot, but he's getting into position. It's just like his goal against Newcastle, that header, you think he's at a rarity. But whether it's Nuno or someone on the staff, or maybe he took it upon himself to say, listen, I need to start adding goals, he's getting into positions. I like it.
One thing I would say about Neves is he did have that shot in the first half, which he probably should have buried, and I think he scooped it wide, didn't he? And I thought at the time, I thought that... What was that, sorry?
What was that?
The ball comes in at the back post, so I think it must have been Neto that played it into him and Neves is in the box and he kind of just scoops it wide to the wide. He's on
the his foot. That one,
right hand side.
I don't remember that. I'll be honest.
Oh, yeah, I just remember thinking at the time, that's a point I'm going to make to Wetton about why he needs to stay further back going forward, and I don't want to see him up in those positions. But
I don't know. We played a few through balls today that, if you had a footballer on the pitch instead of Jose, if you had someone who is a professional footballer, you think they might get onto it. I don't know, man. I'd like to see Neves in that further up position. I'm going to keep saying it until he's retired. So, but yeah, I think they were both brilliant today.
Let's move on to Neto. Not his best game. I'll give him a 6. I always find it hard to be too hard on him because he just at times looks like a man that's lost with not much support. But
yeah, you forget he's 21.
Game, but I think I'd still give him a 6. He had promising moments where, maybe if there's a better strike partnership up with him and wing, maybe we're going, he's had a great game and gotten himself an assist or a goal.
Yeah. I mean, you got to remember that he's not 27, he's 20, 21.
Exactly. He's going to be inconsistent.
Well, he's been consistent all season. That's the thing. He's had one bad game, or not. Well, he didn't even have a bad game. He just wasn't his brilliant normal self. So I think a 6 is fair. Worked hard. 1 or 2 times I see him waving his arms in the air again, but they were more when he made a mistake, which I'm happier about.
A bit more angry at himself, yeah.
At himself, yeah. So it's nice to see rather than someone else. But yeah, Adama tried hard again. Few balls, passes, crosses that just don't come off. I heard Martin Tyler. He had that one shot in the second half towards the end of regular time where it was a real venomous shot, but it went straight to Alisson.
Yeah.
And Martin Tyler
maybe played Fabio there if he had a bit more wit about him.
Say again, sorry.
I think he possibly could have played in Fabio there if he was had a bit more wit about him.
Adama can barely pass 10 yards, never mind pick out a through ball. But when he took that shot, Martin Tyler said, we know that Adama can hit them. Do we?
But he says that. He always says this about Neves, about how dangerous he is. And I'm like, you actually have the stats on the last time he actually hit a 25-yarder in? Or are you just like, yeah. I find Martin Tyler a bit lazy with his commentary at times. I feel he has an opinion of a player from 3 years ago and he can't be changed on it.
Yeah.
I've picked it up loads of times on Sky where he's talked about Neves in particular and saying, he likes to hit them and he can hit them in from long range. I'm like, it's been over a year since he scored a long ranger now, especially from open play. So,
yeah.
Adama, what did you give him rating-wise?
I think he worked hard, but I'm past that point now of commemorating that. I'll give him a 5. I think he was okay today.
Yeah. I'd match Neto. I'd give him a 6. Again, exact same thing I said about Neto that I would Traore. I feel if he had a better strike partner, he probably gets himself an assist today. I think especially there was a couple in the second half. The one in particular I mentioned earlier where plays a real good ball in, and if you've got a proper striker, they gamble on it and they probably convert, but it doesn't happen.
I don't know. Neto's playing in the exact same team without a goal scorer, so I don't know. I'm just sick of making excuses for this guy. Yeah, but that's
Silva? Not Silva, Jose.
I put this in the group towards the end of the game. I refuse to rate Willie and Jose anymore because I think it's almost bullying. It's savage what this football club is doing to this poor guy. Let me just read I did some research on the Premier League app because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't being biased. I do have an agenda against this guy. I'll admit that I do have an agenda, but that's because he's shit, not because I don't want him to succeed. If Willie and Jose scored 100% of his shots, if he had a 100% conversion ratio, he would average a goal every 1 3/4 games. Let me just say that again, just so people genuinely understand how bad this is. If he scored with every attempt he had, he would still only get a goal every 167 minutes. So if he was the most clinical footballer in history, he'd still only get a goal every 2 games. It's gone past the point now where we just have I'm not going to rate him anymore because it's almost unfair. It's a bit how we say about, like, Ty on AFTV, just making fun of him all the time. It's unfair that they have him there. This is the same thing, man.
Look, I'll jump in. I'll give him a 5.
Embarrassing.
I don't think it's his fault, actually. I think
what isn't his fault?
I just don't think he's the right striker for our style of play, especially when we're playing a team like Liverpool and we're looking to break on the counter attack, because he hasn't got any pace. I thought he held up the ball well. Again, I keep repeating myself on that, but that's what he does well.
I expect every single footballer in the world, to be able to control a ball and lay a pass off. Roy Keane says this every single week, and it's true. If you trap a ball now, you play for your country. I expect a left back, a right back, a goalkeeper to be able to control a football and lay off a pass.
If he's at a team, let's say a Palace who like constantly whip balls in.
You keep saying this. When's the last time we won a header? What?
But none of the crosses have really warranted a header time.
But these are the same crosses that Jimenez has been getting for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just gonna keep debunking this bullshit drivel that comes out of Wolves fans' mouths about why is it, and I've wondered this for a while, why is it we're so quick to defend players that aren't even ours, but they'll put down young talent like Fabio Silva or other players that are actually ours. They slate our own players, yet will defend this donkey from Spain that no one gives a fuck about. The reports that came out this week that there's considerations of buying him. What's going on at this football club in terms of transfer policy? What's going on? No, seriously. Am I the only one that thinks this guy's garbage? Am I the anomaly?
I definitely wouldn't want to sign him. I think we've both made that clear, haven't we?
It's almost unfair on him. That's why I won't rate him, because it's Nuno's fault, and I'm blaming a lot of Nuno on this now. I don't really have a go at Jose anymore. He's not a very good footballer. I almost think he knows he stole a career in football. Well, in the Premier League, he's probably a good striker for Spain, but Nuno takes it.
Let's quickly finish on Silva and Gibbs. Not too much to say about them. Obviously, I'd give them both 6s. I think both showed positivity when they come on. I thought Gibbs did particularly well, but people probably won't want to admit that because, as you've just said, there seems to be an agenda against him. Don't really want to go into whether that's rightfully so or not. I just want. I thought he looked positive when he come on, to be honest. And
did you see the control and the through ball from Morgan Gibbs-White? If that was Adama or someone else or Neto on that ball, they go through in the one-on-one. Again, Silva did more in that game than Jose's done since he's been here. But bearing falling over Luiz's knee, as I say every week. But yeah, Silva, he was, of what I saw of him, I think he did okay.
And then let's finish on Nuno. I'd probably give him, I'd give him a 7 today. I've been very critical of his not using the substitutions. Obviously, he used all 3 and had to use the 4th for Ruddy. But yeah. I mean, I thought he had a decent game as a manager in a way. I was quite happy to see him go for it at the end, bringing on that extra person in Gibbs. He made the Fabio change quite early, saw that Jose wasn't working in the second half and acted quite quickly, which I've been a bit critical of him.
I think he still made it at like the 72nd minute, didn't he?
I thought it was a bit earlier than that. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, I'll double check while we're doing it now. You keep talking just so I know, but I'm pretty sure he came on well in the 70th minute.
Well, I mean, yeah. Let's just finish on that. Actually, what would you give Nuno today?
70th minute. Still too late for me. Nuno for me.
I thought it was earlier than that. I'll take back what I said then.
So 20 minutes ago,
I was happy that he made the 3 changes. What would you give him?
5. Because
fair enough.
I think the lineup picks itself. I don't think it was a masterclass as in terms of a lineup. Bowley obviously comes in when he's fit. Semedo right back, Johnny left back. Donks doesn't play obviously. I mean, the lineup picks itself, so you can't really say, well done. Again, 1-0 down, no changes till the 70th minute. I'm Nuno's biggest fan, but I can't. I've never had a go at Nuno for keep playing Jose before. I've more had a go at Jose, but it's getting to the point now where it's like that fat kid on sports day who gets a medal for participating. You don't have a go at him, you just say, listen, you're
not your fault.
Yeah, it's not your fault. And you know that, I think, as well. You don't have a go at the fat kid, but I think that's Jose now. You can't have a go at Jose anymore. You've got to, I'm just going to go in on Nuno for every time he starts this guy from now on. So, yeah, I have 5.
Well, there we go, guys. As always, please like the video if you enjoyed it. Help us out and hit that subscribe button as well. It does really actually help us.
Just one last thing for Craig Pawson and the VAR. I don't know how much you get paid for this, but I hope you sleep well tonight because Patricio's family probably won't. So, thanks.
I think that's the perfect way to end it. Cheers.